Thank you, Dougie. Good evening. The teams, first of all, Glasgow, Hall, Harley, Nakarawa, Van der Meer, Reid, all in. Andy Nicol, what does that tell you?
Tells me it's going to be physical. The back row there, especially Rob Harley and Ryan Wilson. And DTH Van der Meer has been rewarded with that match-winning try last week with a starting berth.
And the captain is Josh Strauss in place of Al Kellogg. 3 changes in the Munster team. Conor Murray, Peter O'Mahony have failed fitness tests, but Simon Zebo has come into the team, Andy. That could be important.
Yeah, big losses there with Murray, especially Conor Murray at scrum half for Munster. He's been the linchpin for them. He'll be a big loss this evening.
An absolutely amazing atmosphere here in the £15 million Kingspan Stadium. Our position in the East Stand. Andy, if anything, this exceeds last year's atmosphere.
It does. It's a fantastic atmosphere. Light blue and red everywhere you see. There's a big occasion for all these players. Paul O'Connell you can see in the middle. Last game for Munster. But Glasgow have got Al Kellogg, the captain on the bench, playing his last game for Glasgow this evening. And we've got a great referee this evening as well.
Our referee is Nigel Owens with his 127th match in the competition. Arguably the best in the world. We have Munster in red to our left. Glasgow in their dark blue to our right. Hang on to your kilts because this could be very, very interesting. Ian Keatley with the ball. Al Kellogg, an interested, more than interested observer, Andy. We're all set. Keatley, who didn't have the best game against the Ospreys last week, kicked 2 out of 7. Johnny Gray waits. Nigel Owens is satisfied. Keatley to kick off. Simon Zebo is the chaser. Pyrgos doesn't find touch. And here an indication of how Munster will approach the game, piling in the first few minutes. Zebo kicks from the left foot to Stuart Hogg, who sends it long. Keatley waits. Plenty Munster men to his right. The wind, if anything, is with Glasgow at this stage. Nobody took it. Nobody took charge. Pyrgos to Dougie Hall, who takes a straight line. Glasgow's first real intent. Peter Horn from the left foot. Again, Keatley waits, calls the mark, and immediately sends it running. Not his best, because Finn Russell has it. His captain is on his shoulder, leaves him out of it, goes to Hogg. Low pass. Stuart Hogg on the far side, takes them on. Pyrgos. The Munster line is stout and strong. Strauss, Johnny Gray, shoulder down. Glasgow piling in. Nakarawa. Pyrgos takes. Strauss again. Strauss barging through. Glasgow on a roll. Keeping it tight. This time Pyrgos moves it. Nakarawa on the 22. Glasgow forward. Gordon Reid again. They have it. Nigel Owens says good ball. Johnny Gray changes his mind, takes the short route. Glasgow go forward. Ryan Wilson. This is the physicality Andy Nicol spoke of. However, it's gone to Munster, Andy.
Yeah, well, I think it was a cagey initial start from both sides, kicking to get downfield, but then Glasgow got the power game going, and we saw Strauss, we saw Nakawara, we saw Johnny Gray, we saw Dougie Hall taking the ball up, really physical, getting half in behind the Munster defence, which, to be fair, did stay strong and then they got the turnover there. But a really physical start by Glasgow.
Now the set piece was a bit of a difficulty for Glasgow against Ulster last week. We think that's reflected in the team selection, Andy. This is going to be a crucial area of the game. Yeah,
without doubt. You can just see the power there that Josh Strauss, the captain for the night, brings to the team. But you're absolutely right, Hugh Dan. Last week the set piece fell apart, quite frankly. I think Dougie Hall is in as a direct relation because of that at hooker. Defensively though, at line-out time, they've been really strong.
First line out taken comfortably by Donovan Ryan. And Glasgow careful not to collapse on the break. The first snipe from Duncan Williams in place of Conor Murray. A big loss to the Irish side. BJ Bota. You see plenty of him tonight. Up it goes. This time Hogg comes. Plenty time. Overcooked that one. This time Glasgow run. DTH van der Veer. Vernon. There's Peter Horn outside him. Pergas looking for Russell. Russell with his first move. Who's shimmy.
Cross now, Red. Let it come. Let it come. Stolen before. That was stolen before.
They have stolen it. Turnover ball. I almost said the skipper. He really is the skipper. He's rolled it forward there. Nigel Owens allows the game to go on. And again they go left. Keatley. Well stopped. Recycled again. They go left. First chance for Munster to get their hands on the ball. They come switching direction. And again they come. Keatley to Felix Jones. Felix Jones with his first surge. Goes to ground. Good tackle by Richie Vernon. DTH van der Veer in all over them. Glasgow all over them. Penalty to Munster. Well, this is always a crucial area, Andy, and on the ground Munster are as good as anyone.
Well, the two turnovers so far with Glasgow having good play, but that's a margin call there. DTH van der Merwe went down. Duncan Williams, I think it was, the scrum half, and it was a marginal call. He was I felt it's right in front of us here, Hugh Dan. I felt he was coming just back to his feet, and DTH was able to go for it, but Nigel Owens interpreted it differently.
This is all going to be about tight margins. This fella didn't have a great week last week. 2 out of 7 he kicked. He's down somewhere about the 70% mark. Can he have a bad streak like that again?
Well, we'll soon see. This is a tough kick for the first one on the 5-yard line there. He's got the wind, so the wind is helping him, so the distance won't be a problem, but it's not one of those ones you think he's definitely going to get this. This is a tough first kick.
Keatley. Perfect hush, but he sclaffed it. Absolutely sclaffed it. Hogg. Well, there's a audible groan round us here. Here's Zabo. Just as much as the groan came, the frisson when he got the ball. They know this is one of their most potent threats. Jones swings it out to the left. Keatley's bad streak goes. It's now 6 consecutive kicks he's missed. Munster have again. Keatley off his toes. Ginazu takes it in. Nakarawa, good challenge. The elastic arms, the elongated arms. Came from nowhere out to Strauss. Strauss to Peter Horn, to DTH, Van der Veer. Van der Veer, oh, what a tackle! What a tackle by Dennis Hurley, the captain. Absolutely amazing for anybody's money, Andy. DTH was home and dry. That was magnificent defence.
Well, you say it's fine margins in the final, and that was so good by the captain, Dennis Hurley, because right in front of us, I thought he was away. Great turnover there by Nakawara, forces Williams into a mistake, and then he gets back into it. There's a brilliant offload. Johnny Gray tries to get the ball back. It gets out wide. We can see here to Josh Strauss, who takes it out to Peter Horn, and we're not going to see it yet, but my goodness, that was a tap tackle and a half.
Well, it's tight margins, and as Andy said, it was absolutely below us here, and for any money, I had Van der Veer going to the line, and just at that very last split second. So, the scrum now, Andy. big area, this.
Oh, it was a huge area.
Let's bring it in a bit,
it was
okay?
a lot of it. Look at this tackle. You think he's away. DTH Van der Merwe thought he was away. But what an effort. Look at that. Fantastic effort there by Dennis Hurley. What a captain's effort that was. Because DTH Van der Merwe was in, guaranteed.
Well, for any young players
watching,
all you need is to get their bootlaces. That's often enough.
Crouch.
And that's what stood between DTH Van der Merwe and the line.
Set.
Anyway, that's gone. Pirgus. Glasgow holding. Second shove. They've been told to use it, they do. And it comes Van der Merwe again. Johnny Gray to Nakarawa. Nakarawa looking for help. He's got it here. Glasgow! Score to Glasgow. And I think it's Rob Harley, but made in Fiji.
It was made absolutely in Fiji. Nakawara outstanding there for Glasgow. Rob Harley's name's on the score sheet, but that was all about Leona Nakawara. He's got such power, but such composure, brilliant handling ability, and Harley was just running the line off. Look at this. He brings DTH Van der Merwe in there. It's a good tackle. Johnny Gray picks up and goes. He offloads it, and look at the space. Look at the ball in one hand. Who cares? He's that good. He wants to offload it. Harley comes in support. Brilliant try for Glasgow.
Meanwhile, Finn Russell has added the 2 points from underneath the post. This is the way the Ouija from Fiji made it all the way to the line. Unstoppable, unplayable. And who was there but Rob Harley? He's been in cotton wool for a while. Brought in for his physicality, but there's his finishing power. 1, 2, 3 red shirts. Couldn't stop him. 4. Munster 0. Glasgow 7.
You know, there was nothing in the textbook there you would expect from Nakawara. Ball in one hand, in contact, but he's that good, he can offload, and he made that try.
Glasgow have it. Tommy Seymour. 9 minutes in. Glasgow have first strike. Will count for nothing after 80 minutes if they're not still ahead, of course. They struck first last year. They will have learned from all that happened at the RDS. Here's Stuart Hogg, goes to Vernon. Vernon looking for Hogg again. This time it comes to Van der Merwe. Turns inward. BJ Bota takes him down. We have a substitution already for Munster, which I'll come back to. A blood replacement. Underneath it, Glasgow. Again uncertain under the high ball. It's the second time they've allowed the ball to drop. Keatley goes. They go left. Kilcoyne takes it in. Nakarawa was lucky not to be penalised perhaps for some dilatory return there. Here they come again. Keatley passes Bota. Glasgow's defence up quickly. Bota again. Oh, fumble by Bota. Good pressure from Glasgow, Andy.
Yeah, and I think the number of ball, there's 2 high balls that have gone up and not been caught. This wind is swirling. It's definitely in Munster's favour, but it really is swirling there. Players are finding it difficult to see where the ball's coming down. But what a great start from Glasgow. It's been physical, and they've got something in the game with the try. This is another tackle there from Nakawara. Not just setting up tries. You see him there. You're absolutely right. He was loitering, going back there. He could have been penalised. There's been good defence there from Glasgow. They've kept their shape. You can see it here. It goes behind the first line of attack. Yeah, Peter Horn, Finn Russell go and make the tackle. Good physicality there from 10 and 12.
We have 19. Sean Dougal on for number 7. Paddy Butler, who was injured last week. It's a blood replacement as far as we know, so we'll keep you posted on that one. An early change. I don't know what Andy Nicol thought of that, but I didn't think it was straight, but never mind. Here we go again. Oh, great pass. DTH Van der Merwe again. Kicks this time. Oh, and it's Felix Jones. Well, variety, innovation, everything from Glasgow at this stage, Andy, but the key thing is they're winning the ball. Yeah, they're winning the set piece. The scrum was really solid. It was a good pick up there at the base. Henry Purgos gets the ball away beautifully under pressure. You can see it here. Josh Strauss brings it, gets it to Purgos. That's a great set of hands. And that's where he needed to go, over them there. I
think DTH Van der Merwe just took 2 strides more, put boot to ball just before there, and that then is a foot race that he had every chance of winning.
A complete gamble by Felix Jones, of course. Gamble which worked. Dougie Hall to Nakarawa off the top. Russell not quite as low as the famous catch and take last week. Tommy Seymour's after it. Tommy Seymour, oh, he got a hand to it. Zabo's on it. Glasgow kick on. Advantage to Munster there, but infinite variety in the way Glasgow are playing, Andy.
Absolutely, and Finn Russell's just pulling the strings. That was a called move. I could see it right in front of me. He put the kick across field to Tommy Seymour, who is brilliant under the high ball, kept his eyes on it, only could get one hand, unfortunately, for Glasgow's perspective, but really positive start for Glasgow, Hugh Dan. And we didn't see this last year in the final at the RDS against Leinster. They got a bit spooked and they never really got into their game. They've really hit their straps so far in the first 13 minutes.
Well, I think that's the best passage of play I've seen from Glasgow in the first, almost we're heading for the quarter hour mark. I don't think I've seen them play better. They're confident, but Munster don't ever write them off. They will see this off. They'll take their time. They'll get the crowd below us. We're in amongst a sea of red and one woman with a Glasgow flag.
But she's holding her own.
Munster get a squeeze on that one. Keatley goes along the line this time. Taken in, Nigel Owens says. So they can't have the option of going to the line again. It's taken in. Keatley just looking a bit uncertain of himself. He's found Tommy Seymour at a lick. Here he goes. He's got Hogg going the other way. He's got Vernon here. Vernon to Horn. Glasgow, it's like a hot potato at the moment, but they all know what they're doing with it. And it goes again. Here's Pyrgos to Russell, who's running the game at the moment. Stuart Hogg dancing inside. Turns the other way to Strauss. Strauss, it's loose. It's Russell. It's Horn. Here he goes. He's taking them on the outside. He's got Nakarawa with him. Here's Nakarawa again. Oh, just one pass too many. A key figure, Leone Nakarawa. He's everywhere. He's covered every inch of it already.
But you can see Gregor Townsend's selections from last week to this week have really paid off. Nakawara started off the bench last week in the starting team playing well. Harley's try scorer, Ryan Wilson, he's been involved an awful lot. This has been a really confident start by Glasgow. You can just see the body language. Tommy Seymour coming across there. Vernon gives it back inside to Horn. They've just got a lot of confidence in this team. Chorus getting through them at the moment.
And they're not forcing it. That's the key thing. It's all under control. Keatley, whose kicking is just not quite with it. Hogg almost. That's the fingertips. And he's overcooked that one. So he is human after all. He won't like that, Andy.
No, he won't. It was a chain. They had a chance to get in the corner there. First mistake really for Glasgow. They've had 2 turnovers, but then they've had good defence after that. Stuart Hogg will be disappointed, but there's just such confidence in the team. Peter Horn makes a great break here. Dummy he goes, he's got the pace to get round him, and in Nakawara, he's expecting Tommy Seymour to be on the outside. Unfortunately, it was Dougie Hall, and it went to ground rather than to hand.
Well, they're attacking from everywhere, Glasgow. Every single player is giving it a shot. Here comes Andrew Smith, the Australian. Takes it in. And out it comes this time. Glasgow content to keep them in the middle if they can.
No, it's a tackle, release.
Nigel Owens again, almost in as a 9th man for both sides. He's never too far away from the ball. Such a massive call he made at the last move of last week's semi-final, which saw Munster get here. Penalty to Glasgow again. They are ferocious on the ground today, Andy Nicol.
Yeah, they are.
Over the ball.
And it was a very technical offence there by Nigel Owens. It's correct, coming in at the side. You know, the physicality is there. There's no doubt the selection, Ryan Wilson and Rob Harley, is all about that. But I've been really impressed in the first 17 minutes about the tackling of Peter Horn in particular. He's not a big lad, but he really puts a shift in. Technically, he's a brilliant tackler.
Well, that's put Glasgow into a wonderful attacking position. great kick again from Finn Russell, who got all Glasgow's points, remember, in the final last year. He has a score to settle with Ireland in this particular final, as have the rest of the Glasgow players who were there, particularly Stuart Hogg, who didn't make it to the field. There's just so much at stake here. And in the middle of the red line, O'Connell in his last match for Munster. Glasgow have it. Pyrgos, they're running all over the place, and Van der Werve's coming. Here's Nakarawa again. What a shift he's putting in. Already, we're only less than 20 minutes in, and he has covered every blade of this Kingsman territory. Johnny Gray this time. Glasgow are within the 22, halfway. Josh Strauss. They have plenty men on both sides, most of them to the right. Johnny Gray. Ryan Wilson keeps the ball. This time they come left. Here's Russell. He's got a couple of men here. DTH Van der Werf. Van der Werf! Well, I know for a fact that will go to the TMO, Andy.
Yeah, no try for me. I don't think he got it down. He'll ask the question. It was a beautifully weighted kick. Just the confidence, you could just see it is there. Yeah, so he's not asking if it's a try, it's actually, is it a knock on? So is it a knock on by Glasgow, which would be a scrum 5 with the Munster Britain. We can see the Derek Bevan right there in the corner. He's about to have a look at this.
Well, there's no shortage of views. Let's have a look. This is DTH and Keith Earls. Earls slaps it. Now, is that an issue, Andy, the slapping of the ball into touch? Because that's what he seems to do.
That's illegal. One-handed slap like that is illegal. Is he going for the tackle? So
neither of them have control over it.
It touches DTH Van der Merwe last. Let's hear Nigel Owens.
The red pushed it in. It's a dropout 22.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, it's a fair contest. He didn't deliberately push that out. That's a drop of 22, okay?
Well, that's perhaps debatable, Andy, and it might be important later on. But here's how it happened.
Great weighted kick from Finn Russell, and it bounced up there. You just thought DTH might get it down. I think that's one-handed going at that.
Okay.
I reckon if that's in the field of play, normal play, Hugh Dan, that's a penalty.
Yeah. It could even be a yellow card if it's a try-scoring opportunity. I've seen them given. Munster have made a reversal on the blood replacement. Paddy Butler at 7 has come back on. Stuart Hogg cuts, turns, puts it on a plate. One of the key features of the Glasgow play is the presentation of the ball. Bota snuck his hand through there, and the props, the hooker, appearing everywhere, all over the field. Here's Reid, turns the other way. Russell sees a gap and it's charged down. Charged down by CJ Stander, who's on his own. Man of the match last week. We have a Glasgow player injured in midfield on the halfway line. Munster care not a whit because they are on the charge. Zebo's there. Keatley. Glasgow need to tackle everything. Felix Jones, head down, out to Keith Earls. Earls cuts inside. Maybe took the wrong decision there. Turns to Zebo. Zebo on the charge. Munster piling, and Glasgow have stolen it. DTH Van der Werve makes 5 yards. Brilliant defence by Glasgow. Van der Werve, the Glasgow player, has returned. Glasgow are at full strength, and Pyrgos gets it over his head but doesn't find touch because it's fallen to the captain, Dennis Hurley, looking for Earls again, but they've dropped it this time again. The pressure of Glasgow has them standing still.
Great defence by Glasgow. Mistake by Finn Russell, gets it charged down. And Munster, I thought they did the wrong. Felix Jones got through. I think it was the wrong decision by Keith Earls. He's got the pace to go on the outside, not the inside. And if he'd just taken the line, you can see it here. It comes out wide. It's a good angle there. It was a good tackle by Vernon, but there's the angle for Felix Jones. Keith Earls steps inside now. If he steps outside, I think he's got the pace. And then it's great scrambling defence. The turnover here on the line by Glasgow. DTH Van der Merwe, outstanding.
Well, that's a wing forwards trick, that one, but Doesn't matter as far as Glasgow's concerned, but he definitely took the wrong decision earlier there, Andy. He had the pace to go outside. That should have been scored.
It's been a cracking game so far. I mean, both sides playing with intent. Glasgow have been dominant really for the last 10 minutes, but you can just see you make one mistake and suddenly Munster on the front foot almost get another try back. This is going to be a cracking game.
22 minutes in, we have one score. Rob Harley in the 9th minute. Between the 8th and 9th minute, Finn Russell converted it from underneath the post. Glasgow have by far the more active part of the game, more of the ball. We have a blood injury.
You're going to show me on it, Finn?
Dougie Hall's good looks in his last game.
No, there's nothing here, mate. We can't.
Requiring a bit of tidying up.
The only thing I would say from Glasgow perspective is they've had this dominance for the last sort of 10 minutes. They need to exploit it. They almost got the try there, the kick through that Van der Merwe almost scored, but they need to try and get the scoreboard ticking over when they've got the dominance.
But if you had offered Gregor Townsend 7-0 after 20 minutes, Andy, he'd settle for that.
I think he probably would have, but not with maybe how they've gone the last 10 minutes. You know, that was an opportunity when you're on the front foot, even a penalty, a drop goal, get it ticking over. Because we just saw there, you've given Munster, a quality side like Munster, a sniff, and they get right back in it.
The ball, he wasn't knocked on, so I'm going to go in possession
doesn't matter.
Ball, okay?
The singing has started, and Munster are winning the singing, I think, at the moment. Glasgow are quiet, away to our left. We're in the east stand here. There isn't a seat, an empty seat to be seen,
hold it there,
as far as I'm aware. I wouldn't like to put a number on the Glasgow fans, but the airports, the ferries have been packed over the weekend.
Time out. I'm going to give you both a chance here. I'm going to give you a chance to work and hold, and I'm going to give you a chance to hold and not drive. For both teams. Oh, both teams, okay?
Well, there's nobody better at telling them, Andy.
No, he's absolutely brilliant. His clarity of communication is fantastic. You know, whether they listen to him or not is a different story.
Well, they're still calling him Sir, which is a start. Here we go.
Find.
Try again.
Set.
Duncan Williams presents slowly, squintly, if I can use that word, perhaps. Glasgow under the cosh. Williams asking for more. Nigel Owens having a good look, and he's decided enough's enough on the 22-metre line. A psychological blow to the Reds.
Yeah, that was it. That was a powerful scrum by Munster. That ball was never coming out. They were just trying to exert the pressure to get the penalty that eventually came. And this is what I'm saying. When Glasgow are on the front foot, they've got to make sure they get the points, because one mistake from Finn Russell, the charge down, and it's just put an injection of life, if you like, into the Munster time, and energy has gone through them. The crowd have responded, and here's a chance for Keighley to get their first points.
Well, this could be, and I use the word advisedly, quite a crucial kick for Keighley himself, but also for Munster. Never mind for Glasgow, because he has to stop this poor streak eventually. He has to come good. The best of order for Ian Keighley. The silence is deafening. Well, at long last, he's got one, Andy. That was going to come anyway, but as you said earlier, Glasgow have to stop this dead in its tracks now before it comes to momentum.
Yeah, you can see the power scrum here. There was no way that CJ Stander was going to let that out. Gordon Reid on the far side there under severe pressure from BJ Bota. He pops up. That's where the penalty came, and that was a much better strike from Keighley. The first one was a bit of a squaff. That was a true contact.
So Finn Russell gets us going again. 3-7 now. Just a feeling that Munster are beginning to get their house in order. Keighley's inside, so he's fine. This time Hogg waits. He's got half of Munster catcalling him there, trying to put him off. Didn't work. Strauss takes a quaint line. Kyrgios. He's got Russell at pace on his left, and he takes it himself. Johnny Gray grabs it, turns, Dougie Hall to Nakarawa, who's had a quiet 5 minutes. Here he goes again. He's got it to DTH Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe to the line. Van der Merwe! Score, Glasgow. Andy.
Leona Nakawara is unbelievable tonight so far in the first 25 minutes. What another offload. And yet again, the try scorer had a lot to do, much more than Harley had to do for the first try. DTH Van der Merwe gets a try in his final game for Glasgow, but that was another one that was made by Nakawara. What an outstanding offload yet again.
Well, that's got the blue flags away to our left going, Andy, because that's what they needed at this particular point in the game.
And that was a very cute bit of play there from Glasgow, attacking the same defender. But look at this, Nakawara, ball in one hand, bossed off two, over the top of Keatley, gets it away, good handoff, good pace by Van der Merwe. Another great score for Glasgow.
And Finn Russell adds 2 more as Glasgow blast ahead again with the perfect response to the Munster penalty. This is how he made it. The arms, he's unplayable when he gets going like that. There was still a lot there, never mind the bootlaces, anything. Van der Merwe was not for stopping.
It's just undefendable. There's nothing you can do, and it just means as a Glasgow player you can just wait for him for the offload to come, as DTH does there. What a great finish, good pace. Great response, Hugh Dan, for Glasgow from conceding that penalty.
Well, you can pick them all day long, but when you put them on the field, the coach has to hand it to them and let them get on with it. At the moment, Glasgow are delivering big time. Pyrgos, it's a better kick this time, but he's not found touch again because Munster have the chance to run it back, but Glasgow line speed is good. Tight defence. Here they come again. Paddy Butler takes it in. Williams. Oh, Felix Jones had to go very low. He's not the most elegant of runners. He's very effective though. This time out it comes to Donoghue Ryan. Not making too much ground, Munster. They're being kept just beyond the Glasgow 10-metre line, and they'll be happy to keep them there. Oh, slack pass. Keatley, you could see Tommy Seymour eyeing up the interception there. He came in from a long way out, but Zebo took it in. This time Jones is joining the line now. Munster know they have to respond. Bota didn't make an inch really. Spills it, and again it's spilled.
Off the feet, I think, Sean. I think off the feet.
Nigel Owen says off the feet rather than off the hand and to ground. Here's Zebo trying to carve an opening. Again, Munster spill it. It goes back this time though. Here's Stander, and again a slack pass. Glasgow giving them nothing. They are all over them like a rush.
Yeah, they're really strong in defence, and that is the bedrock in the final. You've got to have good, very good defence. They've got the attacking game going with the 2 electric tries they've had, but really solid defence from Glasgow as well.
It's all very tidy. It's clinical. It's not being forced at any stage, Andy, because that, although we've said keep it going, there's a reminder of our half-time chat will be with Gregor Townsend and the progress being made at Glasgow Warriors. What we're seeing here, Andy, is progress with a capital P. A long way to go though.
Absolutely, and this is what's really impressed me with Glasgow Warriors over the last few years, is each year they've got better and better. They finished 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. First 2 years they got to the playoff, they lost away from home. Last year they got home semi-final at Scots and they beat Munster by 1 point. They got to the final, lost to Leinster at RDS. This year they've finished first, they got the home semi, they beat Ulster, and here they are in the final. They've just, nice little steps. It's not had the flash in the pan and then they've fallen away. It's very un-Scottish, like I have to say, and it's really great to see that they've just got better and better year on year for the last 4 years.
The problem with that, of course, Andy, is that this game is not logical. It doesn't reach its logical conclusion, and Glasgow could very well do all of that and lose by 1 point.
And that's it, and this game's all about winning, and Anthony Foley, the Munster coach, knows that, and he's down 14-3 at the moment. Gregor Townsend knows that. And it's a huge night here for Glasgow Warriors, because to make that final step into a champion club, they need to win this game tonight, and they've made a really good start.
We're just about the half-hour mark. The clock will start again, as Nigel Owens has given his say-so. Out it comes. Horn off his left foot, always the benefit of having two different kickers in midfield. He's told to dispatch it. Felix Jones, here's Finn Russell, takes, beautifully taken. Plenty protection and options. Harley's in there, that went back. Pergas was lucky. Ryan Wilson looks careful the way he presents it. Nakarawa, quick ball, quick passes all the time.
Lost now.
Pergas again. I think that's Ryan Wilson taking a stretch there. Horn off his left foot again. Here's Jones. Dangerous ball, could have gone over his shoulder. All he can do is send it back to Russell, who's inside the 22 metres. Doesn't let it go too far. Takes a look. Too long a look perhaps for the Glasgow fans, because he's given it to Zebo. Simon Zebo, who passed the fitness test, passed the concussion protocols, and he's dumped unceremoniously in midfield by Russell. Good stop there, and again another good tackle from Glasgow. Munster trying everything they've got in the book. Here's O'Connell going into scrum half. Good pass. Bota slips the first tackle. Half an hour gone. Glasgow lead by 14 points to 3. Munster trying to get a roll going here. They have it again. Building up a few phases this time. Glasgow careful. Here's Bota on a wander again. They go left, looking for Zebo, who's not been shown any glimmer of the Glasgow line so far. Back it comes, and another fumble. Glasgow playing on. They have advantage here. It's over now. It's Van der Werf cuts inside. Everybody stood looking and waiting apart from the blue shirts. Inside to Nakarawa. Here he goes. A handoff from Nakarawa is like a crane hitting you with the jib. Off they go again. Back out to the right. It's Hogg this time with space. Hogg cuts through. Hogg, he has Seymour outside. On the inside though, Glasgow. To the line is Henry Pergas. Pergas with Glasgow's third score. Underneath the post. Andy, you could not make this up.
Outstanding play by Glasgow, because it was so good that they just worked the mismatch. They worked the ball out wide so that Stuart Hogg could be running at the Munster forwards, and then it was no contest, and then it was just great execution of basic skills, a great inside line from Henry Pergas. This has been some 31 minutes for Glasgow, arguably the best of the year. This is the turnover, and when Glasgow get turnover, it's all good. But watch it here, it comes out wide, and they just get the mismatch. Hoggy looks up, and he sees it's a front row forward, and it was never going to be a contest. He had Seymour outside, Pergas inside, ball in two hands, inside line from Henry Pergas. Third try from Glasgow. This has been outstanding.
And the big thing there, Andy, was he could have gone either way. He had two options, and they were both scores.
You would always expect the winger to be outside, but it's a great scrum half line, the supporting line inside.
And Russell makes it two more. Two more to Glasgow. They are now, I wouldn't say on easy street, but they are way ahead of where they could possibly have hoped to be at this stage in the game. A brilliant strike by Stuart Hogg, in the sense that he put Pergas through, but as I said, he had the options, and Glasgow, Andy, you have to say, they are cruising, but they can't take their foot off the pedal.
No, they can't, but what's been so good, it's been defensively, they've been really strong as well, and then yet when they get the turnover, 3 chances, they've scored 3 tries. It's been brilliant.
Here they come again. This time it's Vernon, he's got Strauss with him. And one of the features of Glasgow's play is the way they have the confidence to take it in and present it. No hurry at all. Here's Horn. He's got 4 men out here. One of them is Hogg and Nakarawa.
I got.
And that just, but there's men everywhere, Andy.
But it's ambition, you know, you've got 21 points to 3 up. Maybe you get a phase there, you kick it down the park. No, they want to play. They're playing with the 2 phases, the 2 lines of runners. They've got the distributors and Peter Horn and Finn Russell spraying the ball wide to the likes of Stuart Hogg. It's just been great to watch. They're just completely dominating. They've had 3 chances, they've had 4 chances, 3 tries, and 1 when DTH Van der Merwe just about scored with a kick through.
And if you were to send a message on, as part of the coaching team, what would you say to them in the last Well, we're heading for 34 minutes. There's 6 minutes left. Would you go for another score just to hammer it?
Absolutely, Hugh Dan. You just say keep playing with that ambition. Everyone's on a roll. You can see the real energy both on the pitch and in the stands here at Kingspan. Just milk it, milk as much as you can when you're playing like this.
And interestingly, the Glasgow fans, I think, are just as stunned by this performance as the Munster fans, because it's gone awfully quiet round the stadium. It's as if they can't believe what they see unfolding here. Zebo, because that gets the little spark going, gets the Munster fans beginning to zing around. Here's the ball to Jones, to Earls, but he's whacked by Van der Weer. Flatten his back, that's okay. Out they go to Botha. Not an inch given, none asked. Another charge, and Nakarawa keeps them. The Munster choke tackle, trying to keep them on their feet. The Munster fans beginning to raise the tempo. Away to our right, they're sitting on their hands because Duncan Williams has broken through and O'Connell is brought to ground. Just doesn't have the pace. Here's Keatley, cuts through, looking for an option. Glasgow are a bit thin here. It's the first time they've looked under rear duress since DTH Van der Weer pinched the ball on the line. O'Connell takes a dive through. They need a score. They know they need a score before half-time, because it could lead to something at the start of the second half, because they'll go nowhere. They have a penalty, a knock-on, I think it is coming. It's the straight arm rather than the raised arm, so I think it's if anything, it's advantage to Munster. They have the chance to play. Mr. Owens will let them go. Here they come to the right. Williams beginning to be a bit of a threat round the fringe. O'Connell takes a look to Botha. They still have advantage. They're cutting through with a chance here, but the ball's loose and Glasgow on top of Keatley, needs to be brought down. Instead they're holding him up this time. Glasgow, desperate defence. Munster driving through Botha. Back it comes to Keith Earls, who's twisting and turning. Glasgow hold him up. They are inches away from the line. The advantage is gone. They need something from this. They go left. Again, the Glasgow defence piles in. Munster have men way out to the left here. Dennis Hurley, the captain, they go the tight side. They're driving up the tight side. The clock runs 4 minutes. 3.5 minutes to go. Can Glasgow sustain this defence? Can Munster blitz them just once to get back in this game? Nakarawa. There are bodies everywhere. That's the best view in the house. They try moving it out. Hogg is onto them. The danger for Munster is that they hold on to the ball too much. Nigel Owen says that's okay. Botha going left. He's going to go left. O'Connell goes to ground. They're under the posts. 5 metres. 2 metres. Another drive. Bodies everywhere. Nigel Owens is in amongst it. Here they go. Can they get to the post? They go left this time. They've swung it out and just missed by the captain. The captain makes it though. He gets his legs going. Legs pumping. Pumping it over. TMO is not satisfied, and just look at Nigel Owens' positioning, Andy Nicholl.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, he was right there, Andrew Smith.
Whilst you're checking for if there's a knock on there, I want you to check, try yes or no here, please. It looks on the line for me, so try yes or no, please. Sorry, any reason why you can't award the try? And just check that red didn't knock it on there before after it was knocked on by Glasgow.
There's 2 questions the referee can ask. Is it a referee? Is it a try? Yes or no? And then he said immediately, is there any reason I cannot award the try? Which is both questions. So I'm not sure which he's actually thrown at Derek Bevan there. He's looking at a knock-on that might have happened. He's looking at the grounding. Let's see Andrew Smith here if he gets it. He thinks he's on his line. Nigel Owens is much better position than the TMO from this position.
But he's going to go back. This is deja vu to last week, you know, when they had the big call, and he's wanting to go back to the potential knock-on. Just here. Now, was there a knock-on here?
Well, I think if anything, it came off Henry Purgus, I think that was. I don't think...
That's the one I wanted to check. Did 13 touch it, Bev?
Yeah, we're looking at it. We're looking now.
He's looking at 13. Did Andrew Smith knock it on before he gets to that line? You can see there, I think that looks like a try. Is there a white line? Is he on it? Yeah.
Well, he's just rolled it. He's just rolled it enough for my book.
Which he's legally allowed to do.
Yeah.
They're looking at the knock-on, or the alleged knock-on. I don't think it is. I think this will be a try. I think this will get Munster their first try of the night.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of red flags below us that think it's a try, that's for sure. Munster have used the old trick of going back to halfway.
I want to check if 13 touches it. No, go back, Bev.
Here it comes down.
Okay.
Well, this is a Welsh production, obviously, the TMO. Derek Bevan from the Welsh Rugby Union, all the officials indeed from the Welsh. Now, is there a touch here forward? Did he touch that and did he knock it forward, Andy? That's a split hairs decision.
Well, he went for it.
That's the one. Does 13 touch that?
And that's the one Nigel Owens asked, does he touch it? Let's have a look at this, because his left hand goes out for it.
Look at the linesman, Andy. He's pressing his
Go
button.
back.
Now,
it comes off.
Back. I'm happy with the grounding. No need to go back anywhere near there.
I don't think he does. This will be it. This will be it. We'll see here.
It didn't go forward off 13.
No,
so try is good, yes?
Try's good.
We'll check now the grounding for you.
not quite. He's going to check the grounding again.
The grounding is fine.
I think so. But then what are we to say? But you can tell there the weather's changing as well, Andy. Just a side issue. Nigel Owens.
I'm happy with the grounding unless you tell me different.
He's got the wind and the rain coming on him
now.
now. Here we go. Let's have a look. Talk us through this, Andy.
Finn Russell is trying to get him to the ground there. He's short there. He's allowed to move it forward.
Yeah.
That looks like it's on the line.
Decision made, Nige. You can award the try.
Thank you.
Score.
To be
It's
fair,
Andrew Smith who finally got the ball over after that. You have to say Andy had a lot of work to do from the point where he just about touched it, and we can see rain spots on the screen because the rain, just the slightest shower has begun. That, if it gets heavier as we expect, could change the game as well.
Well, you'd rather be 21-8 up than 21-8 down
3
with the rain come, but there was so much defence that Glasgow had to do, and it held firm. But so many times Munster got to within a yard of the line and held up. But this is a finish. It is, I have to say, it's a good finish. Glasgow might be disappointed with some of the defence there, but up to that point it had been really strong.
Keatley, he's beginning, you know what, Andy, he's beginning to look like he's got his rhythm. He's beginning to find the distance, the direction that Glasgow dread. But as you say, it's much better to be 21-10 in your favour than against you, and we have 2 minutes less and counting. Spellbinding first half. I don't think I've seen a better final, Andy.
No, it's been fantastic. You know, Glasgow have dominated large parts of it. They've got their 3 tries, but they've obviously just conceded that, and it just shows you that Munster don't need much to get back into this game.
Stander is walloped. The wind held that one up, interestingly, because that's going out, and Stuart Hogg will be quite happy to let it roll because we're into the last minute on our clock now. What would you do for the last minute, Andy? Is get the ball, hold it and dispatched it, really?
Yeah, I mean, I think by the time this line-out comes in, it will be just about last play. You know, it's been a very good first half for Glasgow, but you know what? They're full of confidence, Hugh Dan. I wouldn't be surprised if they'll try something here and have another go and see if they can get another try by half-time.
The Munster defence is very flat. They've come up all the way to the 10-yard line, the whole lot of them. They've left Felix Jones and Earls slightly back. Nakarawa takes quick dispatch to Pergers. Russell this time crossfield, danger, because Zebo's under it, but Seymour takes it. Tommy Seymour with a brilliant catch, and look how he's driven forward. Pergers over the top. Felix Jones comes back. That's not running over the line. Oh, he's in trouble here. He's in trouble if he's flattened here. Well, he's got Johnny Gray on top of him, so that's not a good start.
His last play, they just kick it out now, it's half-time.
They have to get it out, Munster. They know that, and they haven't. I don't think it has gone out. It's just gone too far for Stuart Hogg, because Nigel Owens has called a halt. He gets a small round of applause, but there's my man of the match, Andy Nicol. He's been unplayable.
In contact, he's been outstanding. Glasgow have been very clinical. 4 opportunities to score. They've taken 3 of them. They just missed the last one. They have conceded 1, although their defence has been really strong. But my goodness, that's been a very good first half by Glasgow.
Glasgow Warriors would like to thank our community partner SP Energy Networks for keeping the power flowing for us and their other 3.5 million customers.
Throughout this national crisis, their dedicated teams are keeping you connected and safe.
They're powering our frontline services, our hospitals and our amazing NHS so they can continue to do what they do best, protect us and save lives.
Your electricity network allows you to stay connected to work, talk to your friends and family and enjoy streaming your favourite box sets.
That's why SP Energy Network's expert engineers are working throughout your communities to keep the power flowing through this national emergency. If you see them out and about, it's because the work they're doing is critical.
And if your power does go out, call 105. Their teams are still available 24/7 to help you. Thank you SP Energy Networks. If you can, please stay home and stay safe.
NHS Scotland has created Test and Protect, a new way to tackle coronavirus. The big change is that if you have symptoms, a new persistent cough, high temperature, or loss or change in taste or smell, you should go online and request a test via nhsinform.scot. Or if you can't get online, call 0800 028 2816. If symptoms worsen or last for more than 7 days, call 111. If you've had a positive test, NHS Scotland will confidentially trace who you've had contact with. This is so we can let those people know they may be at risk, request they don't leave their home, and offer them a test if appropriate. Anyone could be asked to stay at home and not go out at all to keep your community and loved ones safe. As we start to go out more, let's all keep doing our bit to beat coronavirus.
Thank you, Dougie. Thank you, Jason. 40 minutes. I said at the beginning, hang on to your kilts. Quick question, Andy Nicol. Can Glasgow stick this out?
Yeah, they can. They're playing really well. They've just got to, as Jason said, just keep playing with that same ambition. This is when this team really brings out the best. That's been an outstanding 40 minutes there. Peter O'Mahony, who's not able to play tonight because of injury, he's powerless to do anything, as were his teammates for most of that first half. But they just got a bit of a glimmer of hope with that try just before half-time.
3 tries to 1. Harley, DTH, Van der Werf, Henry Pergas to the score by Andrew Smith. There's the tally. Munster 10, Glasgow 21. We have 40 minutes of pulsating action to come if it's anything like the first half was. There are no changes. The teams are as they started. Stuart Hogg, expect fire from Munster. If you want to follow the match in Gaelic, you can do so on the red button where Alan MacDonald is away to our right here. Barely coping with the action, I have to say, as we all are, because the crowd have been stunned, Andy, up at various points in the first half. It was, I said, they could hardly believe that what they were seeing.
I don't think anyone could, because Glasgow's performance was so clinical. It was physical, but it was also rapier-like in attack as well. Great balance.
Very different from last week's iffy performance against Ulster. Both teams, it has to be said, very lucky to be here in different ways. Here we go, the Munster mash. It's the old style Munster because they go back to what they know best.
We use it now, lads.
I think it was Jason said they'll tick it up their jumper and take it forward. Here they come, opening it out this time. They have Felix Jones, but they've missed him out. Smith turns it back to Keatley, who finds a space. He's passed it to Russell, to Pyrgos, who finds a bigger space. Bigger space here with the Glasgow players warming up behind the try line. It's number 12. Getting there, the captain, Dennis Hurley. He goes quickly. Andy, just little mistakes always from Munster, but that's due to pressure. It's not Munster making mistakes, it's Glasgow forcing the mistakes.
Yeah, and that will come as we get, obviously, as this half draws to a close. Both teams, especially Munster, chasing the game. They'll need to try things. Glasgow at the moment are in control of the scoreline. They need to control the ball though.
And again the ball is allowed to drop. That's the third time Glasgow have failed to gather a kick. It's the sort of thing that drives coaches ballistic, or worse. because they just haven't got to grips with that aspect. It's the only aspect of their game, you have to say, that has been weak. Feet torn off the left foot, and that's a clever kick because it's turned the Munster defence, but it's gone too far. It's gone all the way. And of course Glasgow now have that wind, Andy, and it might just take a kick or two to establish the strength of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kick is good evidence that they have got the wind, and it's probably more than we maybe think it is, because in the first half when Horn was putting those kicks in, you know, they weren't going any distance at all. There it just really just rolled and rolled and rolled, and it's given Munster a chance here. They've had the dominant scrum, they got the scrum penalty just before half time. He's in good field position, they've got some dangerous backs, but Gregor Townsend there must be so happy with that first 40 minutes.
Well, he doesn't do happy that well when you look at him, but
second half, shoulders please, boys.
we go back a year or so and the 1 point margin against Munster. He was happy bunny that night. I've never seen him jumping so high, but that's a long way off. At this particular point in the game, the scrum is holding. Glasgow content to leave them. Secondary nudge. Glasgow go down, and that's exactly what Andy said. There is potential danger here, Andy.
Straight to ground.
There is. I think that was a slip more than anything. I think Russo de Klerk just slipped there as much as anything. It looked like two even sides. Now this is interesting. This will tell you about the wind, because this should be in distance, but Ian Keatley, as you can see, is kicking to the corner.
Well, that's a statement of where they are in terms of the game, but also in terms of the conditions, because you remember the 11 points is just a 2-try game. 2 more tries will put them ahead. And at this stage in the game, that there is no need to panic, I suppose, because that's what Munster are all about. As our friends in the red flags, caps and scarves below us are reminding us, the game is not done. Not by a long chalk. Well taken by O'Connell. Now the drive comes and they hold. O'Connell screaming to the touchline. Down they go. Penalty arrives, because Glasgow have killed it, and off they go again. They can take it as far as Nigel Owens lets them. Williams breaks through. Williams, and they'll come back for the penalty because he gave them the option. Zebo was in there as well. So a penalty again. Andy, do you think they'll go down the line again?
I think they'll go to the line here, which the way Keatley's looking, I think this tells you two things. It tells you that they're really trying to flex their muscles up front. You've seen them, 2 line-out drives have been really powerful. They've got penalties. The scrum's got a penalty.
Whoa. Well, I tell you, that was a slide rule job, that one, because the Glasgow players were pointing to the flag, but it was good. The linesman was in, the line judge just below us. Sean Brickell on the near side. Beautiful take by O'Callaghan. Now this is potentially a big ask for Glasgow. They've done the first bit. They've got the ball. Munster on a roll. Glasgow told to keep it up, to shift it infield. Zebo shouting for a penalty. He can shout as much as he wants, because here they go. They've delivered it. Oh, they've dropped it, and they go for the line. They're on the line. Big appeals below us, but Nigel Owens, Glasgow have held it up. Brilliant defence again. Absolutely brilliant. There's the ball. Nowhere near the ground, Andy. Textbook defence.
Every Munster man in this stadium here, Belfast, wanted Paul O'Connell there to get that ball down in his last appearance. I don't think it's been officially announced last appearance, but there he is, almost there. He's over the line, but he's held up. Good defence there by Richie Vernon, by DTH van der Merwe.
Timeout.
Russo de Klerk is in there. You can see good effort to hold him up, and Nigel Owens in the perfect position. You can still see the ball there, clearly held up, but now they've got to defend a scrum, and the scrum has been dominant. So you'll see this ball, I don't think will come out. Munster will be going all over Glasgow here to try and get a try or a penalty try.
Now, we use the word legend a lot, Andy, and we use it loosely, but 101 caps for Ireland. It's difficult to sum up what that man means. We saw it before the game. He was winding the fans up. He has total respect.
Without doubt. I mean, British and Irish Lions captain in 2009. He was in the squad 3 tours. He's just been outstanding. A really nice guy, down to earth. He's put his body on the line. He's 35, 36, but they're talking about a 2-year contract. to Toulon. It's amazing when your body's knackered. The Mediterranean sun and €500,000 in your back pocket, your body doesn't feel as sore.
And I wonder why people don't offer me that. I don't know about you, but behind the Glasgow post at the moment, we need 5,000 people shoving. There's the occasional red flag there, of course. Mixed audience, they're all over the place, and I have to say the spirit round the stadium is absolutely immense. The crack, as they say, is mighty, and this is a mighty scrum.
Huge scrum.
Zebo has come sneaking off to the touchline. Keatley is to the left of the Munster scrum there at the bottom of the screen. That's the referee cam view. Grimace from O'Callaghan.
Dan, the backs can do, the Munster backs can do all they want, they can talk all they want. This ball ain't coming out of this scrum.
You heard it here first, and Munster are bawling to that effect. They want it up the jumper and under the post. The scrum has gone down. Glasgow will take some heart from that. They held it. A slip. Now, we're talking to the ground staff beforehand, Andy. They said as soon as it rains, it'll get slippy. They know this field better than anyone. They said it would be greasy on top, and we're seeing the evidence already.
Yeah, this is let's see, you can see the rain is coming down. There's no hook. Modern day rugby, no hook there. The hook is in a driving position.
It's like an advert for a rugby ball.
Stay there now.
I saw a clip on Twitter recently, and there was a game in Argentina. The ball went in the scrum, and it stayed there for a full 45 seconds, with both front rows just looking at it, and nobody moved.
It's the sort of thing that would make you go in after it. But here we go. Duncan Williams will put this one in. It's in. They're holding. Glasgow hold firm. Munster beginning to put the nudge on. Nigel Owens is having a look. The ball is somewhere in there. Glasgow go down. Penalty again. This is becoming a bit of a problem for Glasgow.
So this is an easy 3 points, but I think they might go again, because we're into penalty try territory if it goes down maybe one more time after this. So yeah, I think, look at him, no, they're going penalty. That's an interesting call.
That's not the decision I would have taken. I follow you on that one, but just looking at the pitch there, it's cutting up really badly. I think if they had tested Glasgow again, psychologically, physically, they would have had the upper hand. Another score. Gordy Reid's not happy, no wonder.
So I think Glasgow will be happy just to concede 3 points after that passage of play. Both Paul O'Connell held up over the line, and a scrum that went down on their own line with the pressure they are under. So 3 points conceded, not a bad job, move on, still in control of this game.
Time to reorganise as well, as the crowd goes into its customary and proper hush for Ian Keatley. Well, he fired it over, he couldn't, I say this advisedly, he couldn't miss because he has been missing. However, 3 more points to the Munster men and Ian Keatley, 21-13 now, and all of a sudden the game is within, it's not quite within 7 points, but it's 1 score, 1 converted try and 1 score. We won't go into the complexities of additional time and so on, because that's some way off. We will bear it in mind as the game progresses and unfolds. So Glasgow attacking the War Memorial end in this magnificent Kingsband Stadium. Perfect platform for even more perfect rugby, particularly from Glasgow in the first half. The ball is there. A fair contest which Munster have. They're where Glasgow want them, and they have, I think, not exited as well as might be expected. Andy Williams won't be too happy with that.
No, I thought he was having a shaky game. He then found some space around the fringes just at the end of the first half.
Just a slight concern below us here. Johnny Gray is having some attention.
Stop the clock anyway.
You wouldn't want to disrupt the team at this particular stage, because what Glasgow need at the moment is time and the ball in their hands.
No, definitely. And you think about 12 playing minutes ago, Glasgow were 21-3 up and really in control. So you can just see Munster have just worked their way back into this final. 10 points, 10 unanswered points, and 21-13. Obviously, it's not nearly as in control. Glasgow aren't in control as they were, but they've just got to regroup. Still in a great position, 8 points up. Playing really well. They've not really had much attacking play yet in the second half. So let's just get back to what they were doing in the first half and do it very well.
Johnny Gray looks a bit sore, a bit stiff. The options for Glasgow are to bring Al Kellogg, of course, on. He's on the bench tonight, but they won't want him on just yet because there's still an awful lot of rugby to be played here. O'Connell has stolen that one. Grand larceny by the master of the line out, because that's exactly what they wanted. It's rescued Duncan Williams for his poor pick. They're outside, so they're going to have to take it back in. He can't put it directly into touch. He's given it to Tommy Seymour, who sends it to Hogg, who's fired it out to DTH van der Erven. Glasgow had an extra man there if you'd gone outside. Again, Munster. This is the Munster tackle. They have bodies on the wrong side, but they've got it this time, Glasgow. Finn Russell with a break. He's kicked it through, looking for Tommy Seymour. Zabel goes back. Oh, that was a fair contest. But again, innovation from Glasgow.
That was just good awareness of where the mismatch was again, and Finn Russell just scanned what was in front of him and went through it. Henry Purgus was on the inside line. If you look at here, Finn Russell goes, look at the inside line there that Henry Purgus was on.
I'll tell you, there were an awful lot of blue shirts on both sides of him, but he backed himself. He took a look. Beautifully weighted pass, and the touch was good, and a fair challenge from Zabel. Here's the ball, however, with Harley. Game on. 52 minutes almost gone. Glasgow still in control, but living, I won't say dangerously, but nearer the line than they wanted to be. They've taken the initiative here, though, because all of a sudden they're beginning to play in the right area of the field as far as they're concerned. Munster's defence is good. They're shipping Glasgow across the way. I feel the rain on my face. The wind has changed. Driving towards the east stand here. That's a loose pass, and Zabel's onto it in a flash. Who is the quicker? Tommy Seymour gets there. Now he has to be very careful here. He has to release the ball. Harley's with him. Horn has it. Horn's away, and it's O'Connell. Oh, and they got it to Nakawara. But you've got to hand it to O'Connell, and he's everywhere now. He's as much a figure in this half as Nakawara was in the second half, in the first half.
He's had a great start here, but this is where Glasgow need to be careful. There's the balance by playing there with ambition, but with this rain that's now coming down, they've got to make sure that they're precise and the execution, the passing is good. That was a poor pass by Finn Russell, and at times you've got to get that balance of what you're trying to do.
Here's us at the first sub for Glasgow, the first change. It's Rousseau de Klerk going off. He's done his shift, and there is how close it was to a breakaway. John Welsh comes on, another man playing his last game, Andy.
Rousseau de Klerk has played well. Defensively, he put in a real shift, which allowed some Glasgow to be in the front foot. So scrum-wise, under a bit of pressure, but he did a good shift.
Fresh legs, fresh mind, fresh approach from John Welsh, who'll want to go out with a bang, same as all the other players who are playing for the last time in the blue.
Next stop, we use.
They're going to have to use it the next stop.
Use.
They're hanging on. This is the old Munster again. They're scrabbling everywhere. Glasgow drive them. Williams has it. McConnell's all over him. Lets it back to Billy Holland. He's had a quiet match. I haven't mentioned him much. Doing the hard graft. Glasgow competing. Zabel lifts a leg there, trying to clear it. Glasgow competing. Penalty Glasgow. You could see there Henry Purgus takes a quick look. That's a good decision by Purgus, Andy, because, as we said, you don't want to force it.
No, but I like the fact that he was thinking about it. Have a look, scan up, see if it's on. If it's not, then just take your time. But if it's on, Glasgow have the players that can go the distance, and I like the ambition there, but it was the right decision. Great turnover, though, by Dougie Hall.
There is some voice from Glasgow. It's not a great kick from Finn Russell. It's safe. And what's going through that man's mind? I bet there's not too much French in his head at the moment.
So that was the last line out that Glasgow had. Johnny Gray called it to himself, you can see, and Paul O'Connell just read it, got in front of him. Really important, this is the next job, this is the next line out. Let's see if they can win their own ball this time.
And it's steady rain now. It's not quite Lochaber proportions, but it's a steady drizzle, no more, but it's making the ball greasy. Over it goes to Harley, beautifully caught and delivered. Now Glasgow have a chance to play the Munster way. Kyrgios booraching in for it, up it goes. Now he's got the win, so that'll carry, but it's perfectly weighted. Tommy Seymour's under it. Zebo gets, off they go. Danger looms, Keith Earls, the fantastic Keith Earls, 6 tries, 9 to Zebo, so there's only 1 try between the two back lines, 24-25, but this evening it's 3-1 for Glasgow at the moment. That's the try count that counts. But we're talking another 25 minutes. Oh, a fumble and a loose ball for Glasgow. Finn Russell gets it through. Now Munster have to be careful because Glasgow have it again. Glasgow have it. Back it comes, Johnny Gray, John Welsh. Oh, he's loose with his pack, Nakarawa. He'll reach that. Oh, deft touch, Nakarawa. Vernon, he tries a chip over the top. Seymour's onto it. That's a beautiful kick as well. Goodness me, Andy. A lot forward. That was Duncan Weir would have been proud of that. Yeah,
that was a good play. You know, Richie Vernon has made the transition from a forward to a back, and he's doing it really well.
I'm not sure what Gregor Townsend would have thought of Nakarawa putting boot to ball there, but there you go. Lovely touch.
Great turnover by Peter Horn.
Now, will Glasgow attack this? They're 5 metres out. All sorts of running and ploys going on here. Up they go. Munster have it.
Over. Hughes.
Williams gets it up in the air, and that's safe enough. Glasgow will be quite content to see the ball going out like that. He's blowing a bit, Nakarawa, no wonder. Look at this for skill.
Well, you can either dive in it or you can kick it out there. And you know what's the right call?
He passed it.
But then there's you can see here, he's got all the skills,
I would like to see some keepy up from the big fella before we're finished. However, we'll leave that for another day.
Time out.
We have just a slight concern about Stuart Hogg at the back line there, stretching his hamstrings. With 2 substitutions, Keatley goes. Keatley's day is done. So that, I assume, is Hanrahan has come on. So we have 2 substitutions. I think Zebo has not been fit, Andy. He's obviously, I think, a spillover from last week. He's taken a knock. He's holding his ribs there.
Yeah, I think he has.
Okay, time on, boys.
These are not bad substitutions. Keatley off. Hanrahan. JJ Hanrahan, electric runner when he sets his mind to it. He won't have a bigger occasion. Glasgow, step by step, and off we go. Kyrgios threatens. Took the chance himself, backed his own pace and his strength. This time it's Ryan Wilson, a bit high for Johnny Gray, which is some doing. Glasgow spraggling back. Here comes Nakarawa. He doesn't need to pump his legs, he just takes 1 step. Kyrgios again, looking for help from Gordy Reid. He goes shuffling past Johnny Gray. That takes some doing. That adds 20 yards onto it. Here he goes again, Ryan Wilson. Downed by Paddy Butler. Penalty coming, knock on. It's a knock on coming to Glasgow. Here's Nakarawa.
Advantage knock on.
Advantage to Glasgow. Driving forward. They just need to hold the ball and go forward. John Welsh takes it in. Kyrgios has it. Strauss is waiting. He'll have a blast. He's got Gray on his shoulder. And Ryan Wilson. Here they go. They just need to put it on a plate.
Advantage over now.
Advantage is gone. Okay, Nigel Owens has called it done. Kyrgios has to play. Nakarawa. They're being driven back, but that opens the pitch for them. Kyrgios has it. His options are Harley. Glasgow driving to the line. 3 metres perhaps. Harley is there. He's defending. Ryan Wilson, they just need to be steady because this is tremendous defence from Munster. They go left under the posts. 5 metres, that's the Munster try line. Here they go. Johnny Gray has a blast. Their bodies all over the place. Here they come again, Glasgow. From the centre, Peter Horn. Fergus changes his mind. Finn Russell! Finn Russell cuts them through like a butter knife, splitting the defence.
Again, really composed rugby there from Glasgow. They went with the power. They just kept moving it around the park. And Finn Russell, like the great standoff he is, he just scanned in front of him what was happening, and he came back on the blind side. This is some of the set-up play with Richie Vernon taking it on. He just scanned what's in front of him. There's Richie Vernon taking it on, and then Finn Russell comes from one side to the next. Look at him, change in play there from Henry Purgos. It's a mismatch. Great score. 4th try for Glasgow Warriors.
He just felt his way through. It was the deception and the inclination, and just leaned into the gap. That's all it took. But that's vision for you. The man of the moment, the kick, the memorable kick, unforgettable kick from last week. This time, Vasaro has come on from Harley. We'll come back to that. Finn Russell has the chance for 2 more. Oh, they overcooked the run. And Nigel Owens had a good look at that, but he didn't do anything about it. We're on the hour. We have Vasaro on, and we have another substitution over on the far side there. I see
Fraser Brown for Dougie Hall.
Fraser Brown coming on for Dougie Hall. There's the score. That's what's taken it to a 15-point game. And here's another substitution. Billy Holland goes. They're ringing the changes, the Munster men. Billy Holland has gone.
Finn Russell gets a big smacker there from Peter Horn.
I'm not so sure that's a good idea, but never mind.
28-13 up, you can kiss any player out there. But I tell you, Dougie Hall, if that is his last 60 minutes for Glasgow Warriors. He's been a fantastic servant, and what shift he's put in tonight, as has Rob Harley. Totally vindicated the selections of head coach Gregor Townsend.
I'll tell you, that's a great sight if you're a Glasgow man. Bota leaving the field because he has done his bit. Here's Strauss, the other South African, one of the other South Africans on the pitch. He's had an understated game. He's not been very visible, but he's done the hard bits, as have the whole of the Glasgow pack. They have not been out-muscled apart from maybe 5 minutes in this game.
That's it. The scrums, they've been under pressure, but in loose play, and that try for Finn Russell proved it. They did all the hard yards, created the space, and Finn Russell had the vision to exploit it.
Oh, that was squint. That's done Glasgow a favour. They can play on as much as they want because the whistle's gone. They're wasting their time. They can stop it. There is no point to all of this. Nigel Owens has blown his whistle, and eventually they've twigged. Well, the intensity, Andy, there's been an enormous skill level in this game, and you have to say there's been intensity as well.
Oh, there has been, but what I've liked on so many levels, this has been such a professional performance by Glasgow Warriors. They've been very clinical in attack, but they've reacted well the 2 times that they've conceded, and they've shown real defence, real desire.
Here's another Glasgow change now.
Sean Lamont's coming on.
Stuart Hogg is limping to my left here. I thought he was struggling. Stuart Hogg is finished. Stuart Hogg, well, he's got this niggly injury, hasn't he, Andy, that he just can't seem to shake off. But at this stage in the game...
Again, if you were 28-13 down and Stuart Hogg goes off, you'd be concerned because he can turn any match. But you know, when you're leading, Sean Lamont comes on.
Just a bit, okay? You're a bit too far.
I reckon we'll see Tommy Seymour will go at 15, and Sean Lamont will come over to the right wing in front of us. But Stuart Hogg, again, been outstanding. Not been on the scoreline tonight, but he set up Henry Purkis' try. And you've got to say, go back to the last week of the regular season. It was Stuart Hogg's try at Scotstoun that kick-started the Glasgow Warriors' performance in that second half, that allowed them to get the 4 tries to get the home semi, and have got them here tonight.
Well, you've got to hand it to him because he went from hero to zero in very quick order last year, and I know he felt it keenly, and he's learned from his experience, and he's delivered in the year since. Here come Glasgow. Finn Russell underpins it, and that's a beautiful kick, because that's what you want to do now, Andy. You want your forwards going forward, you want them stepping up the field.
You see from there.
Yeah, that's it. You've got, it's a skiddy ball now, it's a skiddy pitch. You can use that to your advantage. The forwards have done well. The wind's probably dropped a wee bit, but it's got a bit, obviously got much wetter.
If anything, it's clearing up. Here's another couple of changes. That's both a change from before, because the cavalry are arriving. Number 1 and number 2, Dave Kilcoyne, Eusebio Ginazu, they are leaving. And if I'm right, I think it's Duncan Casey and James Cronin have come on. Cronin been out injured since April. And just a suggestion, Andy, that the Munster bench is not the Munster bench of old.
No, it's certainly not, but it is the last throw of the dice by Anthony Foley. 15 minutes to go, 28-13 down. They've got to throw everything at this.
Well, you could hardly notice there's 15 minutes to go, because this has been an outstanding rugby match, and both sides have contributed enormously.
Release now!
Because Munster have had to eke out every single passage of play. There's a blast from Hanrahan, which is no more than we would expect. Seymour has been pulled back. Sean Lamont is back as well. Finn Russell is down below us on the right hand side as Glasgow cover the potential. They'll want to keep Munster in the middle of the field, I would think, because they're beginning to move the ball. It doesn't do any damage here. They're holding them up. They've got them down to ground now, and they drive forward. Glasgow just a whiff.
The ball was formed, lads. There were two.
Nigel Owens again right on top of it.
Scrum down, turnover ball.
Glasgow ball. Now that's the kind of lift you want as well, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, Nakawara everywhere has just been outstanding. This is the setup. Look at that ball in one hand, moving it around, gets it to Harley, and he's putting in the tackles as well. It's not just an attack. He puts in the line out. It's been everything. Look at this, setting up DTH. I mean, this is one game. This could be a whole season's highlights for a second row, and he's just been outstanding.
And then there's the footwork later, the pass, the beautiful foot pass. But I don't know. There's a Fijian Scottish in all of this somewhere.
Here it is. Here's the. He's not going to dive in it. I don't do that. I'm not in the textbook. I'm going to kick this out to Dougie Hall.
Oh, what
size 13.
Side foot. Glasgow engineering the ball. Peter Horn, and again out it goes. Oh, that was a hospital pass nearly, but Seymour had the nerve to hold it.
Lost now.
Took it in. That must come out. And again, quickly the Munster defence was up. Perigos looking down the left. There's a gap here. Felix Jones looking leaden-legged, and this is brilliant tactically from Glasgow. Perigos, and that's the advantage of putting Perigos in the team again. The selection policy is absolutely bang on.
Without doubt, he's a very controlled scrum half. You looked, you saw that Keith Earls, as you can see the top of the screen, had moved in to cover the full back area, and that left a big area for him to just put the nice little grubber kick. Good kick there by Perigos.
Well, musically, the Blues have it at the moment. Glasgow have raised their voices. The flags are up. They have it from the ball as well, and they're confident enough now to take it to Munster, because as the clock runs on and the gap stays there, words of wisdom from Nigel Owens, who's refereed the match superbly. In go Glasgow, 22 metres. They go left, and another little kick, another little grubber, perfect for the conditions as the rain comes down again. Munster have it. They'll go nowhere from there unless they can engineer something spectacular, but they have the people to do it. We could see Hanrahan going the length of the field, but instead he's under pressure and he just has to hoof it away. And here comes Van der Veer, gives it in to Seymour. Seymour takes it in. Josh Strauss has gone down in the 22 metre area. He gets up gingerly. It's the weight of the beard and the rain, presumably. Out they come again. Will the beard survive the night? I don't know, but he's toiling, I think, a bit at the moment. The Piper has struck up, Andy.
Yeah.
I can understand
A lot of people getting excited. I tell you, one player, I'm looking over to the touchline, Al Kellogg, the club captain, is desperate to get on this field of play. And he's trying to, as you do when you're on the bench, you're trying to get the coach's eye, you're trying to get Gregor Townsend and say, get me on. He's desperate to get on to this part.
I'll tell you, they'll have to shoot him to stop him. Because he's growling, he's pacing, he's like a chained lion over on the far side. And this game now poised. Well, what's the script here, Andy? This is ideally what Munster would like to do and have done in the past. How do Glasgow close this out?
They do what they've done in the last 5-10 minutes. They just need to put boot to ball at times. You know, there's Anthony Foley. He's praying to whoever God he follows to try and get this turnaround. And there he is.
Here we go.
He's coming on. Club captain Al Kellogg.
Well, this is the cavalry. And what a charge, what an ovation he'll get. Duncan Weir as well. It's not exactly the party piece, it's Nakarawa who's gone off. What a shift he's put in, Andy.
But I tell you, he has, without doubt he has, and we just saw the show reel, but Finn Russell goes off. I think Finn Russell has just controlled things absolutely beautifully. He's at a forward pack who's been on the front foot, but he's just dictated where they play. He went in for his try, he's scanned things beautifully. That's a really competent 67 minutes that Finn Russell's put in.
Well, there's the past and the future of Glasgow in that shot. Al Kellogg and Mr. Gray in the middle of the action, and they better do what I tell you, because if Kellogg has anything to do with this, he's going to see it out. Munster will have something to say though. We're rapidly reaching the last 10 minutes. Over it goes, and Tommy Seymour comes up. Munster. Well, it's Glasgow who are called. I thought he was pinging.
Not you, the rest of them. Not the number 9, yeah, no, the rest of them.
See, why did he pick a number 9 all the time?
No idea. Probably because Henry just said something to Nigel. It wasn't him, it wasn't Henry that was
going. It was everybody else. Well, that's put Munster up into the territory they need to be in, because Andy, they need a score and they need it now.
Well, it wasn't you were fine as the rest of them were up, okay?
They had a good first 10 minutes of the second half, but then Glasgow have dominated the next 18 minutes. They're in a winning position, but what they can't afford to do is let Munster have a sniff.
Munster. Oh, Glasgow have stolen it.
Al Kellogg.
Who else? All we need now is a try from the big fella. Pergas launches another one. And the ball's skidding around. Felix Jones gathers. All he can do, they're running out of options now, and the wind has taken that one back. This time Glasgow challenge. They don't get it yet, but they've got it now because Strauss has it. Up his jumper. Here they come, Pergas, who's been outstanding. His discipline, his delivery, his distribution has been fantastic all night. Duncan Weir, up it goes. Hanrahan, juggled it a bit. He was almost caught, and he's certainly caught now because he's got 3 blue shirts round his shoulders. O'Connell leaves it. They're beginning to toil, the Munster men. And they've spilled that one, and Glasgow have it. Glasgow have the ball. Richie Vernon. The hallmark of the Glasgow team for me has been their experience and their care and attention to the ball. Duncan Weir has a wee shuffle. Beautiful little jinking run. Ryan Wilson, who's also proven everything he can be. Kellogg with a shimmy. Just a bit sugary it was at one point, but here's Strauss with a blast. This is exactly what Glasgow need. Munster will choke him. Johnny Gray. O'Connell, desperate to get something out of his last match, we believe, his last match. Duncan Weir, short ball to Sean Lamont.
Keep your feet
all the big names for the Glasgow team are here now. All we need is a cameo from Matawalo. Maybe he won't see it. Who knows? Here they come. Duncan Weir. There was an option, he was too far out for the drop goal. DTH takes a step, half a step, the ball is gone, the ball is loose. Pirgos will just kick it to waste time. Well, it's just, again, I've used the word often tonight, Andy, inventiveness and innovation. It's all there, and the discipline and the physicality.
Yeah, and they've just gone to one hit. There's a great take. That's Al Kellock's first intervention in the game. How good was that? Read it beautifully, got up. John Welsh, Josh Rouse gets him up. Beautiful. That looks like it was a Glasgow throw-in, but believe me, that was a Munster throw-in.
There's one thing about this, Andy. This proves that Glasgow have worked really hard on their set piece since last week, because it was a shambles at times. It just wasn't right. But tonight it has been virtually 100%.
That's what made last week's victory all the more surprising, because you don't often win games without a set piece, but they did. And again, that's another proof from me just how far this club has come, because they won a semi-final without playing well. You don't often get Scottish sides doing that, and they just had a belief in the team, and you had a belief in the stands at Scotstoun last week that they were going to win, and then they put in a really good performance so far tonight. They finished the league, top of the league. They were top try scorers, offloads, all that. It's there. They're our best team in the league. They're proving it now.
Collision Kings, it's there for everyone to see tonight.
And there it is. It's a good crowd, a great atmosphere here in the Kingspan. Glasgow and Munster, it's the blue flags that are flying.
Oh, here we go, here's the cameo. The boos are for last week, and he loves it. He loves it. 17,057 people you will have seen have come here tonight to see this. That's what they think of Matawalo. They gave him the treatment before the game, but hey, he loves it, Andy.
We wondered how many Ulster fans were in the Kingspan here tonight. I think you've just had your answer, because they're not Munster fans booing. They're certainly not Glasgow Warriors fans. They're the Ulster fans who took umbrage to Nico Matawalo's dive last week, and it was a dive. I'd say it was streetwise. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. They won the penalty that got Glasgow into the winning position. But DTH van der Merwe, that's his last play for Glasgow. He's been a great servant. Great performance tonight with that try.
9 minutes and a beautiful touch from Nigel Owens there on his knee, who asked Al Kellock, "You the captain then?" Didn't quite catch what Kellock said, but I think it was the affirmative. There is no one else will be captain at this point in the game, because we're down now less than 9 minutes. And it's going to be nail-biting stuff, because Munster will just not roll over. Oh, Connell's on the ground, but see how he got it away. Still got it moving, and he put it forward. Desperation from Munster. They have to do this. So little they can try now, Andy. They've just got to throw the ball everywhere.
They have to, and the conditions don't allow that to be done very well, I have to say. It is very wet now, so you can't chase the game. Here it is, another 2 on. That's the whole bench being emptied by Anthony Foley.
Carl Sheridan, that is, Andy, coming on at scrum half. He's been out since, he hasn't played since November with a forearm injury, so I don't mean this disrespectfully, but Munster are almost scraping the barrel here. Their resources have been absolutely stretched tonight.
Yeah, I was speaking to one of Munster's greatest ever players and Ireland's greatest ever players, Keith Wood, a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying, they are a club in transition. They've actually done remarkably well to get to this grand final here tonight, and so they're aiming in the next couple of years some of these young players to develop.
The great thing, amongst other great things about this match tonight, is that it's the 2 best teams in the league, and Glasgow have a penalty, which is exactly, Andy, this is almost worth a try to Glasgow, because A, it eats into the clock, B, it's in front of the post, and it's another blow for Munster.
Yeah, it is, and Duncan Weir step up without a doubt, take this. You're right, another minute down, we'll get almost to 74 minutes, 6 minutes left.
And some of the Munster fans are leaving, Andy. It's not something we normally associate with the red, but they've seen it all happening, and you can just detect the Glasgow players. You can just see it in the step. Kellock's dancing. The coolest man in the place is Gregor Townsend. There's some pretty iffy headgear around. And this now is the opportunity for Glasgow to go to the 30-point mark and beyond. Duncan Weir. He gives it a good dunk, and he's away. He's away miles before it reached the goal, and you could just see in Gregor Townsend's face there, "That's my boy," he said to himself, I think. 3 points more to Glasgow, Andy. 31-13. It can't possibly go but one way.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's not count the chickens because you know what it's like. But yeah, they're in a really strong position and they can go out there and be really clinical, finish this game off.
Advantage. Oh, Kellogg. That would have made the script. Kellogg with an interception. He would have had 50, 60 metres to go. No, I don't think so either.
I don't think he would have made it, let's be honest. But this has just been such a good performance by Glasgow because they've been really clinical. They've been the quality of play has been outstanding. They've defended really well. They've had challenges. I mean, Paul O'Connell, we're seeing some of the highlights here again. He's going to end up on a losing side for the last time for Munster, but he was held up over the line there. And that was the key. Watch the tackle here on Peter Horn. This guy's 35. He's put his body through everything. He's stealing ball off Johnny Gray, he's the future. There you see, the old and the master and the young trainee coming through. And Johnny Gray has done another great shift here tonight again.
I'll tell you, Andy, the older you are, the harder it comes because he will feel this sorely. Glasgow have stolen it. Glasgow have stolen it, and that breaks the play.
Ali, the turnover is when it's gone 19, not when the scrum has gone up and I blow it. Okay, so I'm going to go with the scrum, same ball, okay?
Strong scrum from Glasgow Warriors there. The changes have been made.
Keep it steady and square till the ball comes in. The boys have been on before you, made a good job. I suggest you start doing the same as them now.
Well, it's not just Josh Strauss who's got the beard of the night, obviously. Okay, the clock runs 5 minutes and counting. The gaps are appearing in the stands round about us. Way to our left. Andy, describe the scene for us.
The blue flags are flying. The Glasgow Warriors fans that have come here, and they've been great ambassadors for the club. They're going to enjoy these last 4.5 minutes because Glasgow are going to win the Guinness PRO12 and they're going to be worthy champions.
Here come Munster though. They're not finished. They will want to have the final word. The advantage is going to Glasgow though. Glasgow have it. Fusaro to Matawalo. The boos ring out and off he goes. It's all good-natured stuff. Kellogg takes it in. They've just about taken the shirt off his back.
Ball's available, yes.
The ball is there and Glasgow have inched it forward. Brilliant. Brilliant, up it goes. Difficult touch. And back they come. You can see Munster just running out of ideas as the game develops. Here comes Earls. He's been just suffocated tonight. Down below us, I think it's Ryan Wilson has taken a big hit. He's in trouble.
I think it's cramp. He's just put in such a good effort tonight.
Yeah, he's going to have to hobble back and do something. Just turn up is the answer. They've caught them by the scruff of the neck. Fusaro. You wouldn't want anyone better. He's not the biggest, but by crikey, you would want him in the trenches. Here they come again. The Munster men again. They've spilled it. That went back. That's fine. 3 minutes. And the lid will come off it. Munster go. Dummy running all over the place as they come up the middle. Up the middle they come, Munster. Great tackle. Oh, Sean Lamont's taking a sting there. He took a sting on the shoulder, but that was putting your body on the line. He stopped them dead in his tracks. He's taken a hit. Ryan Wilson is just about out on his feet. Not in any concussive sense, it's just his leg has gone. He's still there. Look at him. Diving over the ball. And the ball goes dead.
Time out. You're off your feet, wait.
Time out.
Sean Lamont is going to get done here.
He's going to get done because he didn't use his arms.
When Munster broke through there, I want to check the tackle by the replacement winger, 23, I think it's Lamont. I want to check that his tackle was legal and not just shoulders here, please.
And it wasn't legal, and it was shoulder.
Yeah,
and Sean Lamont done it himself. He's got a stinger.
Okay.
He knew exactly what he was doing, Andy, because
Munster broke through.
That's a classic taking one for the team because he knew there was a try. It wasn't even in the offing, it was an absolute certainty. He just, we'll see it again. There's the multiple view on Hawkeye. And Nigel Owens had seen it, and he's perfectly within his rights to come back and look. It stops the clock at 77. That is the tackle, sorry. That is the tackle. Now, the issue is, did he use his arms enough there, Andy?
No, his right hand came almost in, but it is a shoulder charge.
No hands, stop the substitutions, please. Stop the substitutions and dealing with foul play, please. Stop the substitutions.
That's a shoulder charge.
There are people hobbling everywhere. The bodies have been on the line. You see there, he took the hit and he took the sting.
This is it now, Nige.
And he just lined him up.
Yeah, he's got the arm behind him here, and that's why he's made damage to his own shoulder. So I'm going to go with a penalty against 23 here, if you agree with me on that.
Yeah.
And I go with just a penalty, yeah?
Yeah, the shoulder went in, you're correct, Nige. Penalty to red.
It's a fair assessment.
Well, that's a get out of jail. At any other point in the game, I suspect that would have been a yellow card, Andy.
Possibly, yeah, you're absolutely right. But
let's listen to the way he deals with it.
I think the big giveaway is when you hurt your own shoulder, okay? You were in with an arm behind. Be very careful, I want the arm leading. I'm going to adjust to the penalty this time. Be very careful. Back you go.
Well, that's good refereeing from one side, but if you're on a Munster side, it's not so good. But anyway, let's pass on that one, Andy, just for now, because we're on the verge of this man having a big night, I suspect. He's the man of the match by a mile for me and for everyone else.
Well, he is, but I mean, I have to say, just about every Glasgow Warrior could be a man of the match, but he has just lit up. That first half performance is as good.
I can't hear you at all.
As good as a performance for a second row, unconventionally, as you'll ever see. It was just brilliant as offloading.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind a glass of what he's on. We'll talk about this, Andy, because we're going to have time to talk about it after the game. Put the result, because that's virtually what it is. Put this result and performance into context for us.
Well, this is the best result in Scottish rugby since Scotland won the Grand Slam in 1990, without doubt. It's easily the best performance and result for Scotland in the professional game since it went professional in '96. And all the Glasgow Warriors fans that you can see, the flags all around us, you know, they've been able to enjoy these last 2 minutes because Glasgow know they're about to win the Guinness Pro12 and win their first major honour for this great club. And
win it with style, it has to be said, because at the moment they're 4 tries to 1 to the good. I'm losing track here because I'm trying to keep my eye on the action as well. Just a little bit of afters there, because the game has been played in fantastic spirit, Andy. You wouldn't have asked for a better contest. Not at all. It was a great advert for Guinness Pro12 rugby. And you know, Glasgow and St Elliot, they finished. Look at the crowd there. You know, how many times did you think it'd be on a knife edge at the end, but they can sit here, stand there, wave their flags, enjoy it. Al Kellett can look at the scoreline. He knows he's got
1 minute, lads.
40 seconds left in his playing career, and he's about to lift the Guinness Pro12. What a great opportunity and a great recognition for a great servant, Al Kellett. Nigel Owens has called it at a minute, and I go back to last week when James Eddy kept saying to me, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. I wasn't fine. There were a lot of other people who weren't fine. But James Eddy was absolutely convinced they could carry it. And here's a man carrying. Josh Straussy gets it away. Glasgow with Lamont hoofs it as far as he can. Glasgow driving out. There's a few of them. Yanu Tawa's on now. They've thrown everything at Munster. Munster have thrown everything the other way. And it's been to little effect, really, because the clock is going red. I suspect we are in the final play. They are massing on the far touchline. The Glasgow staff have all come down. I think we're about to see Gregor Townsend doing the Gregor shuffle again. It's a penalty to Munster. This is all, I suspect, in the grand scheme of things, down to nothing in particular, but they're going to keep it going. They will keep this going as long as they can, because they are proud men from Munster. They have another penalty.
You want to stay on these last few seconds? I suggest you sort the discipline out.
Good point from Nigel Owens. If they want everyone on the field, they need them on the field, because this is not over technically till the referee calls it over. Here are Munster, and Glasgow have a penalty. Penalty to Glasgow, and there is only one thing that will happen. They still have to do this. They've come on the field. Now this is silly. This is absolutely silly, because the game is not finished. The game is not finished.
You take whichever way you want.
Duncan Weir has sent the ball out of the stadium. even to convince everybody, because it's there for us all to see that Glasgow have won the Guinness Pro12. Andy.
It's just fantastic. I have to say, it's quite emotional standing here because I know how far this club has come. I was there almost at the very start of the professional game back in '99 when we were on the bus for 10 hours every second Friday to go down and play in the Welsh Scottish League. And they've come this far that here they are, crowned Guinness Pro12 champions, and fully deserving. That was a brilliant performance by Glasgow Warriors.
Final score, the 1s and 3s, Munster 13, Glasgow 31. Payback time for last season, Andy, without a shadow of a doubt. And on the evidence of tonight, Glasgow have learned enormously from what happened at the RDS.
Yeah, without doubt. You know, I think they did get spooked last year, and what I was impressed this week was how they were talking about this game, about how last year they learned from their experience, the mistakes, that it became all about the occasion last year. All week they've been talking about the performance, and we saw a performance here tonight. First half in particular that was outstanding. Defensively strong, powerful, but then rapier-like in attack to get those 3 tries. They then had a challenge in the second half. They came to them, they were able to absorb it, and then they responded and came back and just finished off 31-30 in the final. It's comprehensive. That was an outstanding team performance by Glasgow Warriors.
And you have to say, and you did say, the tactical selection process, the whole bit, the job Gregor Townsend has done, has surely brought him again to the attention of a worldwide audience.
Without doubt. He's been an outstanding coach, I think, for a couple of years, but tactically this week he's just got it bang on. He brings in Ryan Wilson, he brings on Rob Harley, he brings Nakawara to start the game, and those 3 in the first half were outstanding. Dougie Hall as well. The set piece that fell apart last week was outstanding there again tonight. So tactically, Gregor Townsend and Shane Munro and Matt Taylor, let's not forget that. I mean, there's so many players are signing off. DTH signing off. Shane Munro, forwards coach, he himself wasn't happy with the performance last week. They were outstanding tonight, the forwards, and Shane Munro deserves great credit for that.
That's a lovely touch with Gregor talking to O'Connell there. Paul O'Connell will be hurting like nothing right now.
Yeah, and you know, he's been here before, but he's also had the other side of it. He's won 2 Heineken Cups, and he knows what that's like, so he'll be gracious in defeat. He's an outstanding individual. And you know, people will be disappointed. I'm disappointed that he's not ending up on the winning side for him. But I have to say, I'm so happy for Glasgow Warriors and everyone connected. Anyone who's ever played for them, that they can be the Pro12 winners here tonight. Brilliant night.
Some of our other broadcasting colleagues conducting some interviews there. But you've been here, Andy. You've done it. You've picked up some big gongs in your time, some fancy silverware. What are the emotions like when you've won something like this? Because this is colossal. This won't have dawned on the players, will it, really?
No, and it won't. It won't for a while. And what they've got to do is try and just take it in at the moment and enjoy it. But you know, this is how, again, I'm going to say again how far this club has come, because you know, the wins that I had weren't at Glasgow. I won trophies at Bath. You know, we were lucky to win games at Glasgow when I was playing, and this is the journey that they've been on. And it's just been fantastic. Al Kellett has been at the heart of it. There's so many things have happened. Brilliant.
Let's go down to Dougie Bypond, who's got Stuart Hogg with him.
Stuart, let's just tell us how you're feeling after that. The first Scottish team ever to win the Pro12. Just incredible.
Well, absolutely delighted. You know, we targeted this at the start of the season, and you know, we've had tough times during the season, but by heck, this is a great moment.
It was truly amazing. Right from the start of the game, you really went for it. You put Munster under tremendous amount of pressure. Was that the game plan?
Yeah, exactly. You know, our game plan was to apply as much pressure to them as we possibly could, and you know, we scored some fantastic tries early doors and really shut Munster out. But oh, hey, what a feeling! What a feeling!
You said, you know, at the start of the season, Gregor came to us and he said, if we don't win it this year, it'll be a disappointing season. I mean, some of us thought, my goodness, that's ambitious, but the way that you played tonight, you played with such confidence right from the get-go.
You know, exactly. You know, we've got players there that are outstanding individuals, but you know, at the end of the day, it's a team performance, and that's exactly what we're after today, and that's exactly what we got. But you know, as I say, we did target this at the start of the season, and it feels amazing to have pulled it off.
I remember 12 months ago we were standing in Dublin in the Leinster field, and you were in tears. The lowest part of your rugby career, you said then. What does it feel like a year later?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. There's no better feeling than putting on the Glasgow jersey, and our fans there today were unbelievable, and it's a moment that'll live with us for a long time.
It'll live with all of us, Hoggy. Sensational performance, congratulations, well done.
Cheers.
Andy Nicol, for him in particular, this has been some night for Stuart Hogg.
Yeah, he had a few problems 18 months ago where there was a thought he could be actually coming to play in this stadium, and he turned it around. He got his attitude right. He's been outstanding all year, both for Glasgow and for Scotland, and he goes away tonight a winner, and that's why he stayed. That's why these players, like Johnny Gray, Finn Russell, Mark Bennett, Alex Dunbar, let's remember the players who are injured and not able to play.
Let's rejoin Dougie. He's got DTH van der Berg this time.
DTH, you played last week and you got that try, and the joy in your face when you scored it, to actually be fit enough to play in the final and to get tries as well. Just a great night.
Yeah, it's an absolutely amazing night tonight. We talked about all week, we knew we could do this. We just needed to start well, and I think we did that tonight, and that confidence that we built in the first half really paid off in the end. We've talked a lot, and Gregor Townsend's talked a lot about the importance of the Warrior Nation, of the supporters. They're screaming DTH in the back there. I mean, what does it mean to you? This is your last game for the club. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. The people here has been amazing. Like Glasgow's slogan goes, the people make Glasgow, and that's really, really true. And the Warrior Nation is really what makes Glasgow Warriors. I'll miss this place immensely. I've enjoyed every bit of it for the last 6 years. I'm just so glad I can walk away here with the winner's medal. Absolutely, you will be walking away with a winner's medal. But just give us a sense of the team performance tonight, because it wasn't just about the 15 guys that started. It was about the squad, for the whole season. Yeah, we've used I think 52 or 53 players all season long. That really shows how deep our squad is. And we've had a lot of key injuries in the backs and forwards, and that showed tonight. With combinations that you wouldn't have thought in the beginning of the season would be playing in the final, and that was just amazing. Just amazing. Congratulations, well done, champion, well done. Thank you very much, thank you. Cheers.
I tell you, Andy Nicol, is going to be some party in Belfast tonight, but there are some guys in this team like Richie Vernon and these players who we don't talk about a lot, but they contributed over the 22 games. It's not all about tonight, as DTH said. It's about the whole squad and the whole year.
Well, you don't finish top of the Pro 12 after the regular season without having a squad effort. And with Alec Dunbar and Mark Bennett injured, Peter Horn and Richie Vernon have stepped in brilliantly.
Let's go down and speak to the man of the moment with Dougie Vipond.
Al Kellogg, you've led your side for so many years, and now you've led them to the Pro 12 title. How does that feel?
What an incredible feeling. As you say, it's been a while building, and we've got better year on year. And we said last year we wanted to get better again. And the only way to get better again is to win the final. Some of the rugby we played today was fantastic, but we can never forget the 52 players we've used this year. The work that's gone in on and off the park to get us to this day has to be mentioned. And then some of the play today was the best we've produced.
It was some of the best. I mean, I think Andy Nicol said in commentary it was the best performance he's seen by a Scotland team almost ever, certainly of a club side. You put Munster to the sword right from the start. We were watching you in the sidelines and towards the end of the match there, and you were just desperate to get on to play your part in this final match.
You want to go on, but the other thing about the bench is you can't play the game. You've got to keep it calm and realise what you've got to do.
Well, listen, we're going to let you go up and get the trophy. You've led the team brilliantly. Congratulations, Al Kellogg.
Well, just a thought there that I think he thought that they were going to present the trophy without. In the presentation party, the legend Gerald Davis, chairman of the Pro 12 Rugby, John Feehan, the chief executive of Pro 12, David Jordan, the tournament director, and David Smith, the country director of Ireland for Diageo. Disconsolate, distraught, no wonder, Andy. They put a lot into it and they got nothing out of it.
Yeah, and they're a champion club though, Munster. They've been there, they'll come back. They're in transition, and they got to the Pro 12 final, which tells you just how good they are. So, they're gallant losers tonight.
The Glasgow players are now going up individually. I think they're going to call them one by one. Gordon Reid has gone up. They're having to be told what to do. Nico, they're going to call them individually. a volley of boos, and he loves it. He's responded in the only way possible there, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's good friendly banter. All the Ulster fans, have been having a great fun with Nico. And there's Nakawara. Ryan Wilson, outstanding. Dougie Hall, last game for Glasgow. What a performance. Great 60 minutes. Finn Russell, Johnny Gray. These young guys who've come through in the last few years, they're now winners. And that's the great thing. Everyone thought for years you've had to leave Scotland to get the success to win trophies. This is proof that you stay in Scotland, you can be a winner, you can win the league. And that will attract top players, but also give huge incentive and inspiration for the next generation to stay in Scotland.
I love the way Finn Russell cleaned his hands before he shook hands there. Big hand as ever for Richie Gray. There are no bigger hands than his own probably, but there's going to be one almighty roar at the end of this, Andy.
Well, there's Nakawara, I've got to say, he is the man of the match, and that first half was just incredible.
There are some bottles of the pink stuff being snuck up onto the stage there. Strauss of the beard. I wonder if that'll stay. Chris Fusaro, the unsung heroes who do the hard shifts, the guys who do the clever stuff. Sean Lamont, the beard, and here's the captain, Kellogg, Al Kellogg. Al Kellogg has taken his medal. Andy, you're going to leave me shortly, but this is the stuff of dreams.
What a moment for the whole club and Al Kellogg in particular. This is it.
Gerald Davis has given the cup to Al Kellogg for Glasgow. Guinness Pro12 champions for this season, and worthy champions. Al Kellogg, they couldn't be in safer hands. The ribbons, the squibs, the celebrations are absolutely out of this world. The whole pitch in the centre is now covered in glitter. Glasgow have been there. Stuart Hogg's away to talk to the Glasgow fans. He's doing a jig. They're going to have the picture taken in front of the Glasgow fans. They've all headed down to the left. The photographers are queuing up. The champagne is being lined up. There are other drinks available. Eventually, the glitter is there. These are the scenes you will see in the newspapers and in the family albums for years and years to come, because this has been a memorable and an historic evening at Ravens Park in this great stadium, which has seen some momentous evenings, but none more so than this. The old Ravenhill, the War Memorial away to my right in the smoking distance. The Warrior Nation has spoken. I see players there like Peter Murchie and so on who didn't get to be part of the starting lineup, but were named as 24th, 25th, 26th, even 28th man tonight. There are some who couldn't make it, we understand. There are some who are still injured. They've all been part of it. The corks have popped. It's raining champagne, and Matawalu is in the middle of it. And the fans away to my left have taken it all in the best of spirit. Let's see what the atmosphere is like down in the far corner where Andy has joined Dougie Vipond.
Well, Andy Nicol is out of puff, having come down from our commentary area. But Andy, you know, you played some rugby at Glasgow Warriors for a long time, and just let's reflect on what it feels like to see a Glasgow side, a Scotland side, popping the champagne there, picking up the trophy and loving it.
Fantastic. I mean, quite emotional, I have to say, Dougie. It's you know, it has been a long journey, and I said in commentary, you know, when I played, we would sit in the bus for 10 hours every second Friday driving down to South Wales, and here we are. The club is the best club in the Pro 12 now. They've won trophy. And as I said, that means that this next generation know that they can stay in Scotland and win major trophies. And that's a fantastic thing to have.
Absolutely fantastic. But let's just talk about tonight and the way that Glasgow went about their business, because they started the game with such incredible intent. DTH van der Merwe almost in nice and early, but what for a tap tackle he was in.
And just think, remember, they didn't play that well in the semi-final last week, and you just thought when he got away there, you thought he's got away. But what a tackle by Hurley, the Munster captain, to stop DTH. But it didn't matter, because Glasgow just full of confidence. A good set piece here. Johnny Gray does a great offload here, brings in a lot of defence, but then it's all the Nakawara show. And look at that. I mean, that's not in any textbook, but you wouldn't want it to be. And then the support line that Rob Harley brought was brilliant for the first try.
I'm sure there's lots of coaches for minis and middies just now going, don't look at that, I don't want you to do offloads like that, that's all wrong, one hand, over the head.
If you're born in the South Pacific in Fiji, you can do it. Yeah. I mean, just outstanding. I mean, there was nothing that Nakawara could not do in that first half. And when you're as a support runner, it must just be fantastic just to run off him, because the offload's coming.
And the fact that, yeah, exactly. I mean, Rob Harley, he wasn't playing last week. We were questioning perhaps, why he wasn't playing, but kept him fresh for the final, and he put in a power of work.
Well, tactically, Gregor Townsend, Shane Munro, Matt Taylor got it bang on. The changes that they made from last week really worked. Ryan Wilson, Rob Harley, Dougie Hall up front, Nakawara, to start. All four of them in the pack made a huge difference to the performance, and that gave the spark. Usually it's the backs, it's Finn Russell or Stuart Hogg that give the spark. I thought the foundation the pack laid there in the first half allowed Glasgow to get those 3 tries in the first half.
Just looking at very happy pictures of Stuart Hogg there, but let's look at the second try. DTH van der Merwe, great try.
Well, absolutely. I mean, they're up 7 points up at this point. There's a bit of confidence going through them. They're playing well, which was the great thing. Josh Strauss, another powerful performance from him. And but what was just great, they just worked the blind side. I thought that was a great little play there by Finn Russell and Henry Purgus, because they attacked the same defender and put him under severe pressure. But then here we go, Nakawara, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he offloads it down the pace from DTH van der Merwe. You know what? It's a fairy tale in many ways for people like him in his last appearance for the Warriors to score a try, because he fully deserved it. He's lit the place up for the 6 years, and that's a great finish.
Absolutely amazing, it truly is. Gregor Townsend's on his way down to speak to us just now, but just, DTH van der Merwe, he was so emotional there. They were shouting DTH, they just love him, don't they?
Wow, it's just, it's so good on so many levels, and DTH has been a great player, and he's going down the Scarlets. He'll be a loss. We've got another Fijian coming. Glasgow Warriors have got another Fiji coming. Here he is.
Gregor, come in. Now look at this, there's big cuddles here. Gregor, you said at the start of the season, if we don't win this trophy, it'll be a disappointing season. My goodness, it's anything but.
Yeah, the players delivered big time today, and with a good rugby as well, some fantastic tries. And I thought the game of 2 halves, we knew the weather was coming in, so if we could get ahead, it would be a help in the second half. We've chosen to go against the wind, and some of those tries. Again, we're still not as happy as what we could have been as coaches, because I thought there was a couple other chances we could have scored, but no, I'm very satisfied and very, very proud of this group of players.
An incredible performance, and Al Kellogg paid tribute to not just the squad or the players that were involved tonight, but I think it was in excess of 50 players you used throughout the season, and the importance that they had, the difficult wins and the bad nights and the miserable performances and all the rest of it, but getting the wins and grinding things out when it was tough.
Absolutely, and those 52 players got us into a home semi-final. It was the crowd that really, and the players that got us into the final, and then anything's up for grabs in a final, and we had the experience and the learning from last year's final to deliver that performance. And my heart goes out to the players that weren't involved today. 3 guys started last week, or were involved last week. Mike Cusack, Pat MacArthur, Adam Ash, all didn't get involved tonight, and it's tough on them, but they're as proud and as together as the rest of that group now.
I guess that's the thing, because you manage the squad incredibly well. You seem to keep them, so the boys that aren't playing, they're out doing the water bottles and all that. They might not be the happiest about it, but they understand being part of that squad and the importance of that.
Oh yeah, and you got guys like James Eddy, who's been at the club for a number of years, and he was a big part. He was running the messages on today, and he's so proud. You've got Glasgow boys like Duncan Weir and Rob Harley, who just can't believe Glasgow have won a title, and it's down to the work of those players. the work of the coaches, and I have to say Shade Monroe, the forwards, did a fantastic job tonight. Sean Leline, the guys who have really built the foundations, this victory is as much for them as it is for us.
I was going to ask Andy Nicol if he was a question for you, but he's over cuddling the boys there, and quite rightly, absolutely amazing. But he said there after the game, it's just now that young Scottish players watching this tonight know that they can stay in Scotland and they can win trophies. That's got to be a great thing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And there was a lot of young players there. I think Johnny Gray's 21, Finn Russell's 21 or 22, Stuart Hogg's 22. So these players have committed to staying at the club, and they can see they can win trophies. And we'll be a much better team for having won today. Obviously a much happier team, but we'll be a better team for having gone there and won.
Andy, I'm sure you've got something to say to your old pal.
Yeah, I mean, outstanding. I think the changes that you made, especially in the pack, Gregor, were vindicated. Outstanding pack performance. Ryan Wilson, who just walked past us, Rob Harley, Dougie Hall, Nakawara, they all had a huge impact in that first half.
They did, and I think any pack we would have picked, they would have played well, but we thought with Rob and then Ryan, they're fresh, haven't played for a few weeks. Rob was perfectly suited for Munster, and I thought Ryan Wilson's been in great form. I thought he was probably the man of the match today, and Leone delivered. I said to him before the game, I'll be very happy if you don't make an offload. I want you going forward, concentrating the set piece. If you do get one away 1-on-1, then great. I think he had two tries. He was brilliant, and even better, Al Kellett coming on, steadying the ship and winning a line out. So winning a line out against the head. So no, we're very proud of the whole group.
You go back five minutes in the second half of that last game of the regular season against Ulster, needing the 4 tries. Did you think then that you could be here tonight winning it?
No, I thought we might go to extra time, but the crowd and Finn Russell's kick got us into this position, and we're going to enjoy the feeling now. Fantastic.
Fantastic, Gregor. Really proud.
Yes, Gregor, congratulations. Thank you very much indeed. Go and enjoy the evening. We're going to bring Leone in.
Good luck with Leone.
Yes, indeed. We're going to bring in. Good luck with Leone. Leone, congratulations. Man of the match tonight. Just give us a sense of how it feels to be the man of the match and to win for Glasgow Warriors.
It feels great because this is my second year professional, and winning this tournament is like a great achievement for me.
And your teammates are obviously huge supporters of you as well. I mean, without the support running when you're doing these great things, they wouldn't get the try. So, I mean, pay tribute to your teammates if you will.
The rugby is not like it's not an individual game. It's like this man of the match is not because of me. It's because of players. We all did our job, and then let's come together. We did it collectively, and that's why we won today.
It was absolutely sensational, Leone. Thank you very much indeed. Congratulations. Have a great evening. Well done. Brilliant.
Thank you so much. Well played.
Absolutely fantastic stuff.